Howdy out there, everybody. It's Alonzo Garcia, your friendly neighborhood safety guy.
What was that accent you just used? I'm so confused.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, so maybe I headed down south and a little bit of the accent got stuck.
A little change of culture there, huh?
Yeah. Well, speaking of cultures, today's podcast is all about safety culture.
You see how he did that there?
Yeah, it's almost like we planned this, but
Oh my God.
this will come as no surprise. There's no planning that goes into this. We're kind of shooting from the hip, for the most part.
Listen, do we have to plan anymore? We have the #1 Bob's Transportation Safety Podcast out there. #1.
Confirmed.
Right?
Yeah, we're blowing everybody out of the water as far
No
as
planning needed. We are
Bob's
shooting from the hip
Transportation
and
Podcasts.
We are killing it.
Viewership or listenership through the roof.
I'm telling you. It's like 18,000% more than last year. Whatever that number is.
Yeah, well, we'll have to look into the our crystal ball and see what the future holds for the podcast.
But you're right. We're talking about safety culture today. And it's a very important thing because people don't sometimes see all of what goes on behind the scenes in safety, right? We have to put together safety programs. We have to roll these programs out to our drivers and the rest of the staff. And then while it's not a fun or entertaining subject to go through, you have to continually refresh and revisit each item because it's necessary. Without a safety culture, there's so many ramifications to individuals and businesses, and it's just too important to you don't want to glaze over is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't like the fact that you're saying that safety isn't fun.
I mean, we put the fun in.
We try to make it fun.
We do.
Right? We work with what we got.
Right.
It's not always exciting.
Okay, that's a better way to put it.
That's definitely
not always exciting.
True. It's not always exciting.
I'll buy that.
It can sometimes be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. It can be fun.
But for the most part, you're right. It's not exciting.
But let's just ground ourselves for 1 second. Without the proper safety culture, what do we risk?
Loss, right? I mean we're talking about loss.
Yeah. We don't want, and the loss can come in a lot of forms, right? It can come in money, it can come in equipment, it can come in personal injury, all across the board. Lots of loss. So the purpose of having a safety culture is really just creating that nonstop, repetitive, positive reinforcement to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about getting you home safely because that's what we want.
I tell the drivers all the time that, our safety scores are great and they're awesome to look at and they really look good during a presentation. But the most important aspect of safety is making sure that our entire team is starting their shift and ending their shift and making it home safely every day.
Yeah. And so while a lot of what we do might not be popular, it might not be exciting, we do it with a grand purpose in mind. And that continues to drive me every day. I hope you share the same sentiment. Absolutely.
Why else would I be here?
Well, you get paid to be here, but that's...
Wait, you're getting paid?
And there's the fun.
And with that...
Alonzo bringing the fun.
We do have a couple special guests joining us this week, and they're going to talk to us about the importance of having a positive safety culture.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes on than meets the eye.
But unfortunately, we do not have hours and hours. This podcast could be 3 to 4 hours long.
Let's not do that.
Well, then let's just get into a deep dive into safety culture.
If this is 3 hours long, I'm not even listening. Just putting that out there.
I don't know that we can find 3 hours to set aside to actually get that done.
Good point.
So lucky for everybody, we're going to keep this short.
All right, so let's hear about some safety culture, and we'll get back with you in a second.
Okay, think about walking into any workplace, maybe a busy kitchen, a construction site, even just an office. What's the one thing you really hope is in place? It's that feeling of security, isn't it? Knowing people around you, the systems, they're focused on keeping everyone safe. Now take that feeling and really amplify it. Because today, we're taking a deep dive into something, foundational. It's often overlooked, maybe. the power of a strong safety culture, specifically in the trucking industry. Our mission today really is to peel back the layers. We want to uncover why safety isn't just, a checklist. It's actually a deeply ingrained mindset that can fundamentally transform a business. We'll explore how it impacts, everything. Avoiding huge legal fights, handling regulations, boosting employee happiness, and the bottom line too. We're drawing our insights from a really interesting article. It's called Why You Need a Strong Trucking Safety Culture from Track Your Truck, published back in 2022.
It really is remarkable just how far this topic reaches inside a company. It's way beyond just compliance or, simply avoiding accidents, although those are obviously critical. What we're really talking about is shaping the whole identity of the organization around this core value. It protects everyone involved, the drivers, sure, but also others on the road and fundamentally the company's own future. It sets the stage for success in ways you might not even think about at first.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When we say trucking safety culture, what does that actually mean? It sounds simple, but I get the feeling there's more to it.
Oh, absolutely there is. Safety culture, really, at its heart, it isn't some policy document gathering dust. It's how every single person in the company genuinely perceives safety. It's shaped by their shared values, their attitudes, their beliefs. And ultimately, that dictates whether safety is really number one, or if it's just, an afterthought. Which means it has to be everywhere, every part of the company, from the seasonal help right up to the CEO. And here's a key thing. Are employees being safe just to avoid getting into trouble? Or does it come from a real, genuine desire to protect themselves and protect others? Is safety truly built into every decision, or is it just tacked on at the end to tick a box?
So it's less about breaking specific rules and more about whether the core values align. That's a really powerful point the article makes, isn't it? Because it suggests that violations, say from the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, those are often just symptoms of that deeper problem, a lack of real, genuine safety culture.
Exactly. And the article breaks down the key parts of a strong culture. First, it's about driver actions and beliefs. That means ongoing education, proper monitoring, and clear accountability. Everyone knows what's expected. Second, equipment safety. That's non-negotiable. Trucks have to be kept in top shape, fitted with the right safety gear. And third, process safety. Things like planning routes, doing daily inspections, they have to be done with safety right at the center. If that underlying culture isn't there, the consequences spread out, and they're negative for the company, for employees, even for everyone else sharing the road.
Right. As we dig deeper here, we see it's not just about stopping bad things from happening. A strong safety culture actively creates advantages for the business. And maybe the clearest place we see that is in protecting against, really expensive legal battles and staying compliant with regulations.
Yeah, the article points out this worrying trend of nuclear verdicts. We're talking jury awards of $10 million or more. These are really pushing up the average verdict cost significantly. So, strong safety culture, with all its careful reporting and proactive steps, that becomes your best line of defense before you ever end up in court. Having solid documentation, maintenance logs, inspection records, hiring practices, training details, that's not just good housekeeping. It's crucial, solid evidence if you face a lawsuit. You really can't scramble for that stuff after the fact. And the article also mentions how technology, things like dash cams or smart tracking, when they're part of a solid safety program, can actually help lower insurance premiums too.
That sounds genuinely terrifying for companies, those nuclear verdicts. Is this somewhat new, or are we just more aware of it now?
It's definitely a growing trend, and trucking companies are feeling particularly vulnerable.
Okay, so connecting that to staying on the right side of regulators, how does the culture help there?
Well, a strong safety culture essentially bakes in safe habits. It becomes the norm. So naturally, you're less likely to get violations. It reduces the triggers for those DOT, Department of Transportation, audits. On the flip side, a poor safety rating, that can be a huge blow. It could mean civil penalties, maybe even shutting down a fleet or getting slapped with a conditional rating. And that conditional rating really puts off customers and makes insurance more expensive. It's bad news. The article gives a good example. Say a driver's speed is questioned during an audit. A company with that strong culture can point to the driver's long history of safe driving, maybe all the training modules they've completed. That's strong supporting evidence. It really is about building safety from the ground up, going beyond just the minimum requirements.
But moving beyond the sort of financial and regulatory side, what about the people, the drivers out on the road every day? How does safety culture impact employee satisfaction and maybe continuous improvement?
That's a huge piece. We're seeing more people leaving jobs because they feel the environment isn't safe or the culture just isn't right. Honestly, employees know. They can tell if their employer genuinely cares about their safety or not. And the article notes quit rates are higher than they've been in decades. So making the workplace truly safe is critical for keeping people. But it's not just about policies or safe equipment. Employees need to get the why. Why are these safety procedures in place? The article has this great example, a trucker who's maybe annoyed by doing her daily inspection, but if she understands that check could literally save her life or someone else's, she's much more likely to take it seriously, to feel engaged. It's not just about avoiding physical injury either. It's about creating an environment where people feel valued, cared for. That can lead to less stress, fewer stress-related absences, a healthier workforce overall. It's a surprising benefit beyond just preventing accidents. This focus can even broaden out into things like personal health programs, fostering a wider sense of well-being.
That why really does seem crucial. But, in an industry like trucking, it's fast-paced. There's immense pressure on time. Isn't it hard to actually build that deeper understanding when drivers are constantly pushing against deadlines? How does a good culture handle those pressures?
That's where leadership and consistent communication are key. A strong culture weaves that why into everything: training, regular updates, maybe even peer mentoring. It's about creating the shared understanding that safety isn't slowing things down. It actually enables efficiency and long-term success. And building on that, continuous improvement just happens more naturally. You get detailed data from inspections, from reports, and that helps you proactively spot areas to improve. Rewarding employees when they're vigilant, when they speak up about potential issues, that encourages people to come forward, not just after something goes wrong. And when you tighten your standards, hire people who already have safe records, it kind of fosters this collective, positive attitude. You even see team bonding, like experienced drivers mentoring new ones on staying safe because they genuinely believe in it and see its value.
And this ripple effect, it doesn't just stop at happy employees, does it? It flows right into how well the operation performs and, importantly, the bottom line.
Absolutely. When employees feel confident, they feel appreciated because they understand that why we talked about it empowers them. They make better, faster decisions. Like a driver understands why taking a slightly longer, safer route is better than risking a shortcut just to save a few minutes. This naturally makes the whole workplace more predictable, more efficient. You see fewer accidents because of things like proactive maintenance, even just keeping the garage clean and organized. Working safely often brings other benefits you didn't expect, like trucks running better or new hires getting up to speed more smoothly. And then that directly boosts your competitiveness. Having top-notch safety ratings, that's fantastic for your reputation. It attracts more customers, proves you reliable. Fewer incidents, smoother compliance, that means fewer delays, fewer scandals. That gives you a real edge in a tough market. And finally, all of this adds up to significant cost reductions. The article is very clear. Investing in safety gives you exceptional returns on investment. You should really think of it less like a cost and more like an investment that pays back many times over. Every dollar put into building that safety culture, it generates much more back, not just by avoiding losses, but through real gains everywhere. You see savings across the board. Equipment lasts longer, fewer expensive repairs. You avoid or reduce legal fees, penalties, fewer workers' comp claims, lower costs from employee turnover, and that can be huge, like half to double an employee's yearly salary, less time off work due to injury or illness, more business because your reputation is good, fewer unexpected disruptions and downtime, and significantly lower insurance premiums because you're seen as less of a risk.
Okay, so if a company is listening and thinking, right, we need to really embed this, what does it mean in practical terms? What changes can they make?
Well, the article touches on some general strategies, things like setting up incentives for safe driving, making maintenance a top priority, actively monitoring driving habits. Those are good starting points. But crucially, it also points out that there are specific tools and solutions out there that make this much more achievable for fleets today. Things like dash cams, vehicle trackers, they aren't just for watching people. They provide powerful data. You can use that data for coaching drivers, spotting areas to improve, reinforcing those safe habits that are the foundation of the culture. And then there's all sorts of fleet management software for maintenance schedules, for dispatching, for monitoring drivers continuously. These resources really provide the backbone you need to build and maintain a strong safety culture effectively.
So pulling all this together then, the core takeaway seems undeniable, really. Safety culture isn't just some regulatory burden you have to deal with or a list of things to check off. It's actually a powerful foundational piece that actively drives success in every single part of a trucking business. from the finances and legal side right through to the morale and retention of your people.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's about getting the mindset right, embedding those shared values, and fostering a real collective commitment to keeping everyone safe. When everyone understands the why and everyone's actively involved, it genuinely transforms the whole operation from the ground up.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? If a deep-seated culture of safety can have such a profound effect on something as complex and high stakes as a trucking fleet, if it can boost not just compliance but also profits and well-being, what could a similar foundational mindset do elsewhere? Maybe in other parts of our lives or other industries entirely, where choices that seem small can actually have enormous ripple effects.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that deep dive into the importance of having a positive safety culture.
That was a lot to unpack. I'm glad we did that. I mean, you're talking about accidents and litigation and safety in general, just a whole lot to unpack there.
Yeah, and like we said at the beginning of the show, this is one of those topics that you can speak about this for hours and hours and hours on end. And most of the time when we travel together is what we end up doing, speaking about safety for hours and hours and hours on end.
We should get hobbies. What do you think about that?
I used to have lots of hobbies, but, this is definitely more important.
I agree. Lots of good stuff goes into that. I'm glad we took that dive, and everybody stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yep. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Keep it safe.